Hey, what's up everyone? I'm back in streaming again and hope you're all doing well. So let's jump right into things because we don't have much time left. There's only about 25 minutes until the events change and we need to get a lot of things finished. So let's start. And first we'll be checking out the Mother's Day event, just spending our flowers. So the top 4 things you want to buy from the Mother's Day event is wish crystals, gold keys, mysterious potions, and world fruits. Now the world fruits are the best item overall, so if you want to buy anything, this is what you want to get here, because I think the fruit event is also coming up in 25 minutes, so spend your flowers while you still can because the shop will disappear soon. Alright, and to get things started, I want to get you guys some free gift codes which you can redeem in the game here. So you just tap on your profile here in the top left and it'll open up this window here, and then you tap the gift card button, you type in the code, and you get your rewards. So the first reward here is SIAZ9C2K, and you'll get 100 gems, 100k gold, 1 gold key, and 3 wishes. And the second code here is O0RDBUUP, and you'll get 100k gold, 50k soul shards, and 3 tavern scrolls. And both of these codes are still working. The code up here was for the Valentine's Day event and you got some Valentine's Day rewards, but it already expired, so you won't be able to use it. Okay, so I'll be spending all of my flowers on fruits. And we'll spend the rest on wishes. Actually, no. We'll get 10 potions and the rest will be wishes. Okay. Alright, now the next event is the fruit event, the fuse event here. So we have to fuse 8 more 5 stars and 10 6 stars in about 20 minutes. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. And right now we are working on a dark team, barbarian team, and a dungeon team. So let's build. Alright, let's summon some heroes first and build Wild Hammer, hopefully. Or maybe Hellgate Keeper. We need to build some fodder so we can fuse some higher star heroes. And you want to use heroes that are naturally 4 stars that you upgrade to 5 stars. So don't use any heroes that are already 5 stars when you summon them. Alright, so there's one. And we'll use Bloody Hand as fodder, so we'll create him next. Oh, sorry, we don't have enough fodder for him yet. Okay, so we'll do a Spirit Queen. And seems like we don't have enough fodder for him as well, but we'll just use a panda for now. It's fine. And we'll summon some of these 5-star heroes to hopefully get some more fodder. Nice, we got another Spirit Queen. Okay, so we can fuse another dark hero. Let's fuse Night Fury and use that 9 dragon, which is actually not so good. And we need a few more fodders, so let's summon those as well. I got all these fodders last week, or a couple weeks ago from the last fruit event. So we are ready to fuse a bunch of heroes right now. So let's summon more of our fodder so we can create some more 6-star heroes. Okay, so we can create a Night King, and we aren't building him, so we can use him as food later. And we should be able to make, oh shoot, we don't have this 5-star hero here. I think yeah, we have enough copies to make him here. Okay, so that's good. Let's quickly fuse this guy, and then we can make our wild hammer. And it looks like we need some more fodder. Luckily, I got super lucky and summoned a bunch of fodder, so we can use all of these now and make some really big upgrades. Alright, we have a ton of her, so let's get rid of her, and we got a wild hammer. Okay, now we can make... I want to finish making Death Envoy into a leader, so we'll make another one of him. Alright, how far are we now? 4 more 6 stars and a bunch more 5 stars. Alright, so we can make a lot more dark fodder with all of this extra 4-star fodder from the fruit event. And for the fruit events, you want to just summon from one camp, so pick your strongest camp and then just load all your fruits into that one camp so you can create a really strong team. Because if you spend your fruits in multiple different camps, you'll just end up with a bunch of weaker heroes, and it'll be more difficult to build all those heroes at once. Okay, so we're missing, I think we have a copy of her in here somewhere. Yep, there she is. let me know what you guys think of this playlist, because hopefully it won't copyright strike my channel. I was looking around on YouTube and it was really difficult to find some songs that don't have any copyright, so hopefully this song is okay, or this playlist. Alright, so we need more of that 3-star hero here. Luckily we have enough from buying her in the grocery. It's always good to buy those for gold in the grocery because you can use them in fuse events. Alright, so we have a ton of like 1 million copies of her now. And we'll just use her to make herself. Okay. I think we're at least halfway now. And we have 13 minutes to go, so I think we'll be good. But we need to figure out a few more 6-star heroes to fuse. And we're missing a lot of the 3-star heroes. So we will summon, or we'll just do a random fusion here. Another way to complete the fusion event is to just use 10 random heroes. It costs 2 more 4-star heroes, but it's worth it if you can't really figure out what to create heroes with, or if you don't have any fodder to create 5-star heroes. Okay, nice. We can make a 6-star. Oh no, we don't have enough fodder for that. Okay. Alright, so we can make another Death Envoy, which we can also sacrifice for Succincts later if we need it, to evolve him into a leader or a lord. Okay, so we just need 3 more here. 3 more 6 stars and 2 more 5 stars. Almost there. Let's make Night Daughter, since she was also recently available as a leader, and she's actually really good now, like even better than she was before, even though she's S tier. Okay, we don't want to use Play Envoy. Right. Okay, I think for the rest of these, since we don't have the 3-star copies, we'll just do the random fusions for Dark. And I think this might be our last one. Alright, so the 3 ways you can create 5 and 6-star heroes are fusing them, like using fodder in the fused quartz, and then you can use the 4-star fodder to create 5 stars, or you can use fusing, which costs a couple more heroes, but if you don't have the requirements like the previous fodder to make the hero, it costs just a little bit extra to make them, so it's a pretty good option. Now you can also do fusion here, which can fuse some really good heroes, but just be aware that it costs 2 heroes, so you're essentially sacrificing 2 5-stars for 1 5-star. So this isn't really a good way to get fused heroes, but if you're like in the beginning of the game and you might not have some of these stronger heroes, then this is somewhat of a good way to turn 2 worse heroes into a better hero. Like Spirit Queen here is pretty worth it, and I guess Scorpion King is not bad if you're building an elemental team as well. Okay, perfect. We're done the 5-star heroes, so we got our golden keys and mysterious potions, and now we need to get our fruits. Hopefully we'll be able to fuse just a couple more 6 stars. Do we have enough fodder to make him? No, we don't. Okay. Let's double check what we have. I'm saving these because I think in about 7 minutes there's the new Dark Emperor hero that's going to be released, so this should have a pretty good chance to get him. Okay, let's see what we can do here. We might have to use some magic syrups or miracle syrups. Okay, so we can fuse Plague Envoy, that's 1 more. And let's see, do we have enough fodder? I think, yes, we'd have just enough fodder. Perfect. And we just need 1 more. 1 more hero. Okay, so we got a ton. We should have a lot of Dark Souls, so let's see what we can do with these. Okay, so we can get a Barbarian, or sorry, Blighter Shards here, and then we can also get the 4-star shards, and I think we'll be able to make, yes, that's just enough. Okay, so we can do that. So another way to get 5 stars for the fuse event is through the altar store, using the Dark Souls from fusing heroes to purchase heroes here. And it's always good to buy the cheaper ones first because they cost a lot less than the ones here, and often the ones that cost more are heroes that you either don't need or you need, so you have to buy the right ones. But the fodder is the most important to upgrade your heroes. Alright, so hopefully we'll have enough fodder to make him now. Okay, so we just need 1 more. And the 4-star pieces. And we have to summon those, of course. Almost forgot. Alright, hopefully that... Ooh, okay, so we're short one of those. Oh boy, we're short 3 of these. Okay, so we will just spend a couple fruits and hopefully get what we need. Okay, there's one. Alright, perfect. We got a 5-star fodder. Just what we needed. And now, okay, no, we need to make fodder to upgrade our barbarian king. So let's quickly make this before the event ends. Alright, I think that should be our last hero. Done. Okay. Alright, and we'll just do 9 more summons just to get the fruit, so we'll just do 10. 5 stars? Nice. Although it wasn't a dark hero, but we are building a human team as well, so that will come in handy. Fodder is always good. Or really just 5 stars from that. Getting anything from that is good, any 5 stars, because it's actually really rare. Alright, so next we'll check out the event, the updates here. So Dark Emperor should be coming out in about 2 minutes, I think, if it's the Receiving Hero event. And we'll just quickly go over some of the updates, because the updates are really badly translated in English, and I don't know, like half the time I don't even know what they updated in the game, so I have to write it down all here in proper English and then figure out what they added. So they changed the font color of real damage, so I'm not too sure what the color is, but you can see that in battle. The goals, oh yeah, the goals for the Dragon Island have been updated. So if you check the goals here, and oh, where is it? Here it is. So now it goes actually beyond 480. The cap was 480 before, and now it goes to 5. It goes well beyond this, I think, maybe even up to 600 or higher now. So you can get a lot of more rewards if you can clear the higher stages. And Kylan was released, which is actually not that great. The Horror Clown is coming, which seems to be a really good dungeon hero. So that should be coming over the next couple weeks. That's one of the new heroes. The Easter Exchange event ended a couple weeks ago. The Mother's Day event just ended now. Okay, and the Holiday Exchange store now has 10 additional shelves. Before it only had the 10, so there's only like the 10 here. I'll show you. Quickly show you guys here. So before it was just this first shelf here on the left, but they added all of the items on the right shelf here. So there's smelting stones, statues, eternal essence, hero shards, and succincts, which all are actually useful for high level players and late game players, but for early game players, what you want is the event items: wish crystals, gold keys, mysterious potions, and fruits. Everything else is just not worth the amount of flowers it costs. so back to the updates. The cooldown times have been reduced for friend bosses by half an hour, which is good. So it's 7 hours and 30 minutes instead of 8 hours. And the rewards have also been increased. So there's a little bit of more gems for killing bosses. And let's check if we have a boss. Okay, not yet. Soon. And version 130, we got some more new leaders. We got Paralyze and Protection. So Paralyze is what I think that's what Spirit Queen has, and Protection is what Blade of Flames has. So let's just quickly check out Paralyze. And so Paralyze, the heroes cannot obtain Fury points from ordinary attacks or from taking damage. So when Chiron is the one that has the skill. So when Chiron paralyzes someone, that hero that the Chiron paralyzes cannot obtain Fury points, and they cannot from ordinary attacks or taking damage. And then there's Protection on Blade of Flames here, which can protect multiple friendly heroes, but only one hero can be protected at a time. So if the damage exceeds the HP amount, the protection will not be triggered. And the Shadow Clone rewards have been upgraded. So we get red equipment now instead of green 3-star equipment, which is nice. And then we get, I think there's more fancy essences, more inscriptions, and I think this is the same. And this actually used to be upgrading stones, like moonstones for upgrading equipment, like 30 of each piece, but they changed it back to 10 random 5-star hero shards and some talismans. And talismans can be used in the astrolabe here to upgrade skill runes. Okay, and they've apparently fixed a bug where the statues weren't working in Supreme Battles and Dragon Island, so that should be a pretty nice damage boost for heroes. And 10 new shelves have been added to the mystery shop. So the mystery shop now has another second shelf, just like the exchange shop. And you can see the preview here. So they added another second shelf, again with succincts, eternal essences, smelting stones, magic books. Some of these items were available before, the blue obsidian stones and the Oblivion Scrolls. So again, these are more for high level players, so the best thing you want to buy from this shop if you're spending gems is the random hero shards, the specific camp that you're building, and that is about it. Everything else you should be spending elsewhere, on like the grocery store. The pub is a really great place to refresh tasks. Buying some of the items in the Dragon Island, and just buying even wishes or arena tickets are good as well. Or just summoning heroes using 250 gems in the hero square. And now there is Blade of Flames here, which was released. And Nezha, or I'm not really too sure how to pronounce her name, but Nezha is also a new hero that they're adding. She's a human. I'm not too sure what exactly she is. She's human though, and oh, she's actually right here. Yeah. Okay, let's quickly go through the Shadow Tower and check out her skills. Oh shoot. Okay, so we lost a hero there and I didn't realize, so I don't know if we'll be able to clear this. We should be able to though, because they're at pretty low HP. Nice. And now Nezha. So this will just be a preview of our heroes dying pretty much, because in our server they defeated the shadow boss a huge amount of time, so it's actually level 320 now, which is very difficult if you don't have a team with leaders, like a full team of all leaders. So she hits the back line. It seems like she hits all of the back line and does a huge amount of damage, but that's because she's a shadow boss. So it looks like she could be a really good human hero to add to the team. But we'll see when she's finally released. Okay, so the new events are here, and it looks like it's the Gem Tycoon event and the Fruit Master event. So they're probably going to release the Dark Emperor next week. Alright, nice. Hopefully we can get 60k gems before the end of next week's event. And let's continue with the updates. Okay, so they released some more leaders here. And they added the Succinct store here, which is actually a really nice upgrade for the altar. Okay, so, and one thing to note is they added a few updates ago, is you can now preview all of the 10-star heroes leader, so you can preview their maxed out leader skills here. So if you upgrade them to 4 stars or evolve them to 4-star orange leader, you'll unlock all 6 skills here. Right. So let's check out the Succinct store here. Now, one thing to note is that the Succinct store, I think you have to be level 80 to access it, or you just need to make one 10-star hero. I'm not too sure about being level 80. So after you make a 10-star hero, then the smelting store will appear, and the hero smelting will be available. So basically, to create a leader or a lord, you need to have a 10-star hero. So upgrade hero to 10 stars. And then once you upgrade them to 10 stars, then you need to evolve them to become a lord or a leader. So you need 60 common Succincts, 15 of the camp Succincts. So in Death Envoy, he needs dark Succincts, and he needs 12 of his own shard. So the way you can get those is from the shops here, so like the mystery shop here. Although this isn't really a good place because it's better to spend gems elsewhere. Those are really expensive. So you can check the Succinct store here, and if you sacrifice some 6-star heroes, you can get common Succincts, which you can use to refresh the shop here. And you can refresh it every day for every 23 hours for free. So you can pick up the hero shards or succincts that you need for heroes that you're going to evolve into leaders. And then to get the actual succincts for your heroes, so you need to sacrifice the heroes here and by smelting them. And when you smelt them, you get the rewards here to turn your heroes into leaders. So by smelting 3 6-star death envoys, you can evolve him once. And then you need to get increased amount of succincts per evolution. So the first evolve, you need 60 common succincts, and then you need 15 of the camp succincts and the 12 of the specific heroes succincts. And then that will unlock the first 2 skills here in orange. And then the next upgrade requires 100 of the common succincts, 30 of the camp succincts, and 20 of the hero succincts. And then after you upgrade it to the second orange star, you unlock the 3rd skill here. And then the 3rd evolution, it requires 150 succincts, 50 of the camp succincts, and 32 of the hero succincts. So, and then you will unlock the 4th and 5th skill here. So you unlock 2 skills there. And then the last upgrade for 4 stars, you need 240 succincts, 80 camp succincts, and 60 of the hero succincts, which will unlock the last skill here, which is actually very strong. It usually adds an ability to a skill that the hero already has. So it'll be a pretty big upgrade. Like this, in this case, the Death Scythe will immediately be casted and not consume any Fury points. So basically upgrade 1 or Orange Star 1 will get you the first 2, and then Orange Star 2 will get you the 3rd here, and the 3rd Orange Star will get you the 2 skills here, and the last one will get you the last 4-star Orange evolution skill here. So that's how you can create a 4-star orange leader, which is the max upgrade right now. And as you sacrifice more higher star heroes, you'll get more rewards, or you'll get more materials to smelt heroes. So if you sacrifice a 6-star, you'll get 20 common succincts, 6 camp succincts, 5 of the heroes succincts. If you sacrifice a 7-star hero, then you get 30 of the common succincts, 10 of the camp succincts, 7 of the hero succincts. 8-star hero, you get 50 of the common succincts, 20 of the camp succincts, 9 of the hero succincts. So you can actually, okay, no, not yet. Here you can get 80 succincts from 9-star here. You get 80 succincts, 30 camp succincts, 12 hero succincts, and this is just enough to upgrade a hero to the first orange star and evolve them into a leader. So if you want, you can upgrade a hero to 9 stars and directly upgrade them into a leader, or you can sacrifice 3 6-star heroes, and then you'll have just enough as well to upgrade a hero into 1-star leader. And then of course you have the 10-star hero, which is really hard to sacrifice. I don't know if it's worth sacrificing a 10-star hero, but you'll get 120 common succincts, 50 of the camp succincts, and 15 of the hero succincts. And of course you get back all of your rewards here, or your materials you use to create the hero. And one very important thing is once you create a leader, you can no longer sacrifice them at all. You can't sacrifice them in here, so you basically can't get any of the resources back from when you make them. They won't appear in this list at all. So when you're upgrading the leaders, make sure it's the hero that you're actually going to be using. Alright, so I don't think we can finish any of the new events for now. So let's check out the tier list. Alright, so this is the old tier list here. So it was a really like horizontal layout, and on the website it was actually really hard to view everything. And I think all the heroes are updated stats here and all the leaders, but now everything looks a lot better. I changed it so that there's two camps per row, so it's a lot easier to view instead of some crazy horizontal image, and it's more vertical now, so you can view it all, should be able to view it all on one page now. And I've added all of the leaders as well, so they have this little button here that shows that they're a leader here. And the camp advantages are here, so Elemental has an advantage over the human, and it also shows their aura information here in the bottom left here. So Elemental has 30% HP, 20% armor, 15% hit if you have 6 Elemental heroes on your team. And then of course we have all the stats, so there's damage, which is red, crowd control is yellow or orange, the tanking is blue, support is green, carry is purple. So damage is basically the hero's overall damage from their attack and their skill. So potential damage is added onto the regular damage. So that's the potential damage is the extra skill damage. And then even further, if it goes beyond that, if their skill adds a ton of damage, then there's a green plus here. And if it goes even beyond that, then there's just a green up arrow here. So Night Daughter does a huge amount of damage, which is why she has such a huge carry bar here. So she can really change the outcome of a battle here, which is what carry is based on, which is mostly their attack and their control ability. So you can find the rare aura here and the rainbow aura here at the bottom. So this tier list covers pretty much everything now. And then beside each hero has a little block here with the different kind of roles. So if they're DPS, they have a sword. If they're support, they have a plus. And if they're tank, they have a shield. So you can quickly use those icons to figure out which heroes you want to put on your team. And then there's also the synergies, which is on the right side of the block. So for example, Night Fury has freeze synergy, petrify synergy, and stun synergy. Although he has 3 of them, it's a pretty low chance to activate. And I think that covers it, but I'll be making some changes to the tier list this weekend and updating it with some of the hero ranks. For example, Furious Lion is actually not that great, and Fire Leader is actually a lot better. I've been watching some battles, and just from the battles alone, it's shown that Fire Leader is a lot better and deserves a higher rank. And I'll be making a few other changes as well, so you'll see those over the weekend. And right now the Chiron's not updated, Night Fury's not updated, so I'll figure out the stats and calculate them, and also add that, update that to the sheet as well. And right now this tier list is not based on the leader skills right now, so I'll also be reviewing all of the heroes with their leader skills, and then updating all the hero rankings again so that it can be more accurate. So that's all there is to know about the tier list. And now we will be checking out the top meta right now in the game. So we'll be looking at the top auras, the top heroes in the game. So we'll check out, okay, first we'll check out the guild arena here. Hall of Expedition. We have to check the previous battle. There's not too many people battling right now because that's the current battle. Okay, so the previous battle, a lot of these guys are using rainbow teams, which is kind of unfortunate because that's actually the weakest team right now. No matter what, this rainbow team will always be the weakest unless they upgrade the aura, and I'll show you the reason for that. It's mainly because of the aura stats, but also the synergy between heroes is a lot weaker with having random heroes for each camp. So originally I was building rainbow, and then I swapped it out, and now I'm building a dark team here. So my rainbow team was getting killed a lot, and I'll just show you an example here. So I have a 624k power team here, a dark team, and we'll go against someone who has a rainbow team here. So 624,000, just keep that in mind. And let's see here, we need to find a rainbow team that has like a pretty high amount of power here. Okay, let's give this one a shot. This team has over 1 million power, so I'm not sure if we'll beat this rainbow team, but let's check it out. I think we might still be able to beat them. Alright, so we have, oh, it's not even anymore. Now we're losing heroes. Alright, his heroes are upgraded too much. He has way too much power. We need a team that's around 900k power because he has leaders and it's not really a fair match. Alright, let's see. I think we can beat this guy because he has a lot of tanks. Although he does have 3 assassins in the back line. So he's at 921k power. So this team is essentially almost 300k power more than our dark team. And yes, took out his assassins in the back line. Night Daughter took out some of the frontline heroes. Death Envoy's going crazy in the back line, just taking out everyone. And it looks like, yes, we just beat this 900k rainbow team. So there you go. A lot of players are building the rainbow team, but either they're not using the right heroes, or even with the right heroes, the team still isn't that strong overall. So we were able to beat this 921k team with our 600k dark team. So if you're building a rainbow team right now, what you want to do is, it's good right now since there's a fruit event, so you want to just invest all your fruit into one camp, so you can upgrade one camp that you want to focus on. Right now, I think the top aura right now is Barbarian and Dungeon, and then it's split between Human and Dark. I think Dark might be slightly better, and then you have Saint and Elemental, which again are almost tied for third place. So we'll take a look at the previous guild battle again. Okay, so no rainbow team stood any chance against this crazy guy in our guild. He has a full barbarian dungeon team with all of them upgraded to 2-star orange or higher. So basically, even like full camp teams hardly can beat this guy. And he's got level 20 orange statues as well, so he's pretty much set to just beat anyone right now. So this is one of the top barbarian and rare teams here. So Punkfist, or you can use F2 Guardian as the tank, and then 3 Barbarian Kings and 2 Hawkeyes. And as you can see, they all were able to win 3 times, and they all had successful defenses. Although this is not really a good example because these are all rainbow teams, but even if they weren't rainbow teams, they would still do really, really well. And let's check out this. Now, the reason why Elemental is actually really strong and possibly in the top 3 is that when you stack Fire Leaders, Scorpion King, and Ancient Tree, it becomes a very, very powerful team with the Fire Leaders burn damage. So for example, he was able to take out both this dark team here and this light team here. So we'll take a look at the stronger light team here. So this is the elemental team here, and he's using this thorny outer shell which reflects damage, which is really good for an elemental team. So as you can see, the monkeys are going crazy on the tree and have almost killed him. And now he's gone. So you think, oh yeah, he doesn't have much of a chance now since the tank is gone. But those fire leaders are just burning away all the monkeys. So, and Scorpion King, he also settles the burn damage and deals more damage. So there, everyone's just gone in a few seconds. And they're at full HP, which is pretty amazing as well. So the monkeys could barely even scratch them. So that elemental team right there is, I would say, probably in the top 3. Now the other version of the elemental team that's really strong is, I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but basically what it is it's Ancient Tree, Death Clock, 2 Cerberus, and then a Scorpion King. So the Death Clock recently was able to become a leader, and then since it's a leader now, it has really good skills that can reflect damage. So after it causes bleeding, Cerberus comes in and then can silence them. And then while they're bleeding and silenced, then Scorpion King can come in and deal even more damage to settle the bleeding. And then Ancient Tree works really well as a tank. Although I'm not too sure if that team is better than the Fire Leader team. So if I find any teams similar to that, I'll let you guys know, but for now I think this is probably the top team right here for Elemental. And here is the top team, one of the top teams for Saint right here. Phoenix, Spirit Queen, 4 Monkey Kings. And this guy was able to successfully defend 3 times here, so let's check it out. Just quickly watch one of these fights here. Let's see, the strongest opponent was, I think it was this guy here. Oh no, they have a rainbow team. Oh well, we'll see anyway. He has 28k more power than him, so let's check it out. Alright, so already the Monkey Kings have taken out 2 heroes. And they are just picking away the other team's heroes. Ice Queen can really take a beating here. So, but once she's gone, they should be able to finish up the other heroes really quick. Yep, they just keep comboing and comboing because of their Fury ability that refreshes their Fury. And then they snipe the hero with the lowest HP. So they all go against one hero and take him out, and then the next hero take him out. It's like an ambush basically. So that is possibly the best Saint team right now. There's another Saint team that uses Tauroses instead of Monkey Kings, but overall I think the Monkey Kings are better than Tauros. In more situations, the Monkey Kings will win in a battle than Tauros. And now let's move on to the second best camp here, which is Dark. I don't know if we have any battles here to show. If not, I'll just explain it. Okay, so this guy is a pretty decent Dark team. And he was able to beat this Dark team here. Both these teams are pretty close in power. So yeah, that's probably a really close battle. But anyway, it looks like there isn't a Dark team there that I can show you. But my friend here, he has one of the top Dark teams. So basically you have Bone Dragon in the front, and then you have 2 Death Envoys and 2 Plague Envoys, or you can use Night Fury as well in here. Although he isn't a leader yet, so it might be better to have 2 Plague Envoys. And he has a 4-star Orange Night Daughter, which is probably like the first in well, definitely the first in our server and probably a bunch of other servers, and almost two 4-star death envoys. So you just want one Night Daughter because she's actually pretty slow, but when she releases her skill, she does a ton of damage. So if you have two of her, it'll just be too slow and the other team will take advantage of that. They might have more assassins and can just take her down. And then you want two death envoys because he follows up his attack on the lowest HP. So he can take out, it'll be pretty much guaranteed kill when both of them use their skills. And then you have the plague envoys for both damage and healing. They're really good for healing the team and dealing a bit of damage. And then you have Bone Dragon in the front, which can freeze the heroes. So when he's at low HP or when he uses his skill, he has a really good chance to freeze all the heroes and also a chance to reduce all their fury to 0, which is pretty much game changing in battle. So he's a really good hero to have as the tank. And that pretty much covers that for the dark team. And I think one person in my guild here has one of the top human heroes. Let's just quickly check. Okay, yeah, here it is. So Ice Queen is probably the best human tank right now. She's actually better than Paladin because even with the human aura, you already get a ton of crit. So you don't really need the crit damage from Paladin, and he's really doesn't do much damage or anything else that makes him stand out. So you want to use Ice Queen as the tank, and then you have, in this case, this guy has 3 Captain Hooks and 2 Storm Daughters. Now the reason you want Captain Hooks is because they all have a chance to petrify all of the heroes. So when they're stunned, then the Storm Daughters can pretty much clean up everything. So he's not available as a leader yet, but if he does get promoted to a leader, this team will be just crazy. And they all deal extra damage to heroes that are petrified as well, so there's some really good synergy there. And then the Storm Daughters just do a huge amount of damage, and someone told me earlier that you can put a petrified statue on them and they have the potential to be even better than Captain Hook because it adds petrify to their multiple hits. So they do a huge amount of damage and can clean up after the Captain Hooks. So if I had to pick which is the top 5 camps right now, I would say Rare and Barbarian are the top right now, followed by possibly Pure Dungeon Team, and then Pure Barbarian Team. Or Barbarian Team's not really that good, so that I'm not too sure where to place the Barbarian Team. But for second place, there is the Dark Team here. Third, a really close third, is Human. I would actually say that Elemental is better than Saint right now, just because of how strong the Fire Elemental team is, or the Fire Leader Elemental team versus the Monkey King Saint team. In a lot of cases, the Fire Leader team was able to defeat the Monkey Kings. So that is the top 5 auras in the game pretty much. So you have 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and I'll just show you the Epic Arena League teams, which are at the top. So this guy's 3.5 million power. Again, he's using his Dark team. So he has a Night Fury instead of his other Plague Envoy, which is also really good. And then when Night Fury gets upgraded to leader, this will be even better. And this is also a team that is really good against... It could potentially beat the Barbarian and Rare team because it's upgraded really well and they have a lot of synergy. But it's hard to say because I haven't seen his team versus Barbarian and Rare team. Alright, so this guy's using Barbarian and Rare team. Again, if you want to use Bloodseeker, he's not bad either, but just use one of him. And Axe King is good as well for a tank. So this team is actually not too bad as well for the Barbarian and Rare team if you want to have more Hawkeyes instead of Barbarian Kings. And then we have, this is probably just one of his weaker teams, that's not his actual team. This is similar to the first Dark team. Yeah, this is another interesting team here. It doesn't use any Petrify, but it has a huge amount of damage. So again, Ice Queen is the tank, and then you have two Faceless as the assassins to basically deal a huge amount of damage, and then the three Wind Knights deal a huge amount of damage as well. So this team has no Petrify, which could end up be the cause of it losing quite a few times against heroes that have control and that are able to stun these heroes. But if they aren't able to stun them, for sure the Wind Knights and Faceless will just wipe out the other team. And I've also seen a team using, instead of Wind Knights, they actually used Black Dragons, so they have some stun in there. I'm not too sure if that team is better though. So you can throw in some stun with like 3 Black Dragons and then the Assassins for damage. I think that might be a more balanced team than this team here. Again, this is the Barbarian Rear team, another option. Really, really good team. And that guy's using the exact same team. This is kind of a strange team, but this is probably his leftover heroes that he used to make a Saint team. And Blade of Flames as well could be subbed in for a Barbarian hero or Barbarian King. He's actually a really good hero since he has his protection and he does a huge amount of damage. Again, this is the, well, I don't know if it's the top monkey team because I think 5 Monkey Kings are just too much now. Like you need to sub in Spirit Queen or maybe use like Phoenix and Chiron. Because the monkeys right now with the damage, they're just pure damage. They have nothing else. So once they're stunned, they're basically just gonna die. They don't have any other chance because they don't have any ability besides doing damage. Alright, let's see if there are any other teams here. I think we might have just covered them all. Yeah, a lot of these teams are just like, they're weaker teams, like their third or their last team. So they're not the actual teams that they use, the strongest team that they're using. Okay, we'll just check out a couple more. So that covers the entire top meta of the game right now. And let's check out the Dragon Island real quick, because they increased the highest level in the Dragon Island to I think 685 now. I'm not too sure what it is, but even the top players in the server right now aren't even able to defeat stage 684, unless that's the last stage right now, because 685 you probably can't do it at all. It's just not available yet. So they use their barbarian team and their dark team to defeat that up to 684 stages. And this elemental team here was actually able to get up to 658, which is pretty surprising. Again, elemental is definitely stronger than you think. They have a lot of armor and HP, so they can bleed heroes and then just take them out slowly. So this team was similar to the team I mentioned before, except that they're using 3 ancient trees instead of just 1. So I'm not too sure if that is good. I mean, it provides a lot of extra healing, but at the same time, I don't think there's enough damage from the 2 death clocks and the Cerberus. So you probably want to use either 2 Cerberus here or another death clock at least. Alright, and one other thing is they have added new VIP levels, which goes, I think before the cap was 13, now it goes to 17, which is pretty crazy. I have to spend a lot to get here. And they added a new thing where you can battle in the auto battles for an extra 4 hours. So instead of 8 hours limit, you can fight for 12 hours and get more rewards. Although you'd have to spend a lot to get here. Like I heard it's like something crazy, like over $10,000. And one other thing is they updated the combat lab. So I'll show you guys here. The combat lab before, it only went to this entire column here didn't even exist. So this column wasn't here, and this previous second last column here only went up to a max of 20. Now it's upgraded to 30, and that applies to both the camps and the major skills as well. And for each row in the combat lab, I did some calculations here. So before the total cost, you would need almost 34 million gold and almost, well, 92,000, but almost 100,000 badges to be able to upgrade an entire row in the combat lab. So 34 million gold, almost 100k honor badges. So that's quite a lot, but now it's even more because they added the extra column. So with the extra column now, that's an 60,000 gold and 149,000 badges. So 58,000 more badges and 27,000 more gold is what it's going to cost to upgrade a full row. And I did a few more calculations, so that's the cost for 1 full row. The cost for 2 full rows is 118,000 gold, 118 million gold, 300k badges. For 3 rows, it's 177 million gold, 448k badges. For times 4, so 4 rows is 240 million, 600k badges. 5 rows, almost 300 million and gold and 750k badges. 6 rows is 360 million gold, 900k badges. 7 rows, almost reaching the completion of the combat lab here, is 400k gold or 400 million gold and over 1 million badges. 8 rows here is 480 million, 1.2 million badges. 9 rows is 532 million gold and almost 1.4 million badges. And for everything in total, that includes all 10 rows, to max out every single skill in the combat lab, it costs 591 million gold and 1.5 million badges. So by collecting the rewards every day, this will take you quite some time. It'll take a while. Even right now, I just have this almost I had the entire row of the ranger upgraded up to 20 here, but then they added the update which added more, so now it's not maxed out anymore. But that was almost upgraded, and the dark aura here, I've almost as well upgraded that to max. And I've been playing for about 1 to 2 years, so yeah, this definitely takes a while, but it is extremely worth it. For whatever camp you're building right now, this will add a huge amount of power to your team. So you'll want to upgrade basically any of the attack skills first. So crit first, because that's extremely important. That basically multiplies your damage. And then you want attack, anything like speed, a little bit of speed, and crit damage as well is really good. And then you want, after upgrading the offensive skills, you want more defensive skills. So you want the reduce hurt, you want anti-crit, and yeah, that's pretty much, well, HP as well. There's real armor here. So you want the defensive skills after the offensive skills, because offensive skills will have the biggest effect in battle. The only exception is the elemental, which has a huge amount of armor and HP. So you'll actually want to upgrade the HP first, like HP reduce hurt, and maybe a bit of speed, and the real armor is really good as well. So that is pretty much everything you need to know about the combat lab. And the honor shop is honestly just a joke. If you spend anything in here, it's a huge mistake, because you need so many honor badges to be able to finish the upgrades in the combat lab. So any amount here spent in here is just a big setback, and the costs are also really ridiculous. So I'm not too sure what they're gonna do about the shop, but hopefully they'll change it to some other currency that isn't honor badges, and then maybe they'll add, I'm not too sure what this does either. So hopefully they'll add like a new mode here to be maybe fight a guild boss or something, and then the rewards from the guild boss can get some new currency, and then you can use the currency on actually getting heroes from here. And then there's the guild challenge, which you really want to just give your team, give your guild a chance to get heroes here. So I've just set up a team with no aura with some of the top heroes here. So Bone Dragon, Night Daughter, Hawkeye, Blades of Flames, and Storm Daughter. So 3 people have just easily defeated my team because it has no aura, and they can get, when you defeat a team here, you can randomly get one of the hero shards that are guaranteed. So you'll randomly get one of these shards here, which is really good. So if you defeat a team that's like all 6 of one hero, for example, if this was all Monkey Kings, that's a guaranteed Monkey King shard. So after you defeat this team 50 times and you get 4 entries a day for free, you can get basically free Monkey King every like 10 to 15 days. If someone's using an entire, or like an entire team like this, maybe you want to switch this out to a weaker hero so that it'll be a little bit easier to get, like any other camp. Probably actually a barbarian and dungeon heroes are the best for this because it's harder to get them than other heroes. So the teams you want to use to defeat them now is, like these guys have defeated my team, a full dungeon or barbarian and dungeon team with all DPS, extremely high DPS, to just wipe out everything. So F2 Guardian and 5 Hawkeyes, or whichever DPS heroes that you want to use, that are preferably assassins, since they have the highest DPS. And I'll just show you guys what I use right now. So you want to go for heroes shards that you're actually building and collecting on your team right now. And I'll show you guys which team I use to win, pretty much guaranteed. It's this team right here. F2 Guardian, 2 Hawkeyes in the back line, and 1 Punk Fist, just for a little bit of stun, although I think adding another Hawkeye might actually be better. That's one of my teams I use. Now another team is a really good priest team. So you want Bahamut in front, and then just straight 5 Phoenixes, because the Phoenixes all stack with each other and add a huge amount of damage, and they all just heal each other and have the ability to revive themselves. So this team has a huge amount of damage, huge amount of survivability, and has a really high chance of beating almost any team. And if you don't have 5 Phoenixes, you can sub in another Bahamut if you have one, or you can sub in Earth Prophet, which is also not too bad of healer, or maybe even Chiron in this case if you have him. And then that is a really good team. And another really good team is the Dark team here. So Plague Envoy, basically just a bunch of Plague Envoys and Death Envoys. And if you want, you can switch out the front Plague Envoy for a Bone Dragon, or you can switch out one of the Death Envoys for Night Fury. Or I'm not too sure if this team works out well, but you could maybe sub in 4 Night Furies, and they have a lot of CC, like they can stun, petrify, and freeze. So I'm not too sure how good it is, but this team should be able to take out a lot of the other guild challenge teams. And of course you'll want an aura here to give yourself a big advantage. And usually you won't get any of these rewards, especially if you're giving a chance for other guild members to get heroes and you don't have an aura set up properly, so you can give them more free hero shards so they can build heroes that they want. But if you're actually if you want to go for these, usually you won't get any of them. Only if someone decides to attack your team. Like, everyone's using really weak teams to attack and they don't know of the teams to defeat these. Or if you make a guild specifically for farming these and just farm yourself. So basically you have like 20 other teams and you just lose against yourself to get yourself these rewards here. But then the rewards, I don't know, if you have an active guild, it kind of pays off in guild battles because you get the 5-star hero shards daily. So really it's not too good of a bonus getting the miracle syrups here, because you sacrifice a lot of rewards you can get in an active guild here. Alright, and for the Supreme Battle now, I haven't really gone over this, so basically on the first, from Monday to Friday, there's like Mondays 1, Tuesdays 2, Wednesdays 3, Thursdays 4, Fridays 5. So today's for well, in the game it's actually Friday, but today's Thursday here. So it's the 5th battle, which is rare and barbarian, and then so each day there'll be that exact same aura gets a buff. So when you use the barbarian and dungeon aura in battle, you get 50% adding damage and 50% anti-control and 800 real armor. So you'll want to use those heroes to battle all of these heroes here for a bit of a damage boost. And for each stage you get increased rewards. So you get increased gold, you get increased fancy essences, and you get actually different rewards as well. So after I think, yeah, so after 7 stages you can get eternal essence. The 8th stage you can get smelting stones, which is actually extremely good. And then for, yeah, that's the best reward. So after the 8th stage you just get smelting stones and a huge amount more gold and fancy essences. And then you can use these moonstones to upgrade items in the forge home, your equipment in the forge home. And before we take a look at that, on the weekends, this actually it resets every weekend. On the weekends, it's actually a totally different thing. So it'll go from stage 1 to 100. And then each stage progressively gives more rewards. So you get actually a lot more gold and things when you do it over the weekends, and it resets every weekend, so you'll always start at stage 1. And then I heard from a friend that you actually get an Oblivion Scroll for beating stage 100, so you can earn a free Oblivion Scroll every weekend if you can clear stage 100, which is actually extremely difficult. Like right now, only 6 players in the entire of like 5 servers have been able to defeat stage 100. So this is some of their teams. Of course, the top dark team. There's the top light team. See, they have Chiron here and Spirit Queen, which probably will be a really solid Saint team. I'm not too sure how it will do against the elemental teams, though. I'm really interested to see how the fire leader team would do against this team here. And then we have the barbarians and Hawkeye team. dark team and barbarian and rare team again, or barbarian and dungeon team again, and barbarian and dungeon team again. Everyone else is using a similar team, but they probably don't have as high upgraded equipment or badges, or just aren't using leader heroes, so they'll get there eventually. And right now, I don't even think I'm on this list because I started off with the rainbow team, which I thought was good at the time, but it actually is still one of the worst teams right now. So I'm working on upgrading a dark team, barbarian, and rare team. Those are pretty much, or barbarian and dungeon team. Those two teams are what I'm working on right now. But I also have Saint kind of monkey team built, and kind of built human team as well, which I might consider finishing after I finish my dark team. I'm not too sure yet. I think after the dark team though, I'm gonna be building the barbarian and dungeon team. Alright, so one other thing is the Oblivion Scrolls can be used to reset the entire row of skills you've upgraded, and you'll get back all of the honor or glory badges here. But the problem is you get back none of the gold, so you get back 0% of the gold that you spent. So in this case I would get back 64k here, but I get back none of the gold, so I'd have to spend a huge amount of gold to re-upgrade this or any other row in the combat lab. So it's not really worth resetting if you've already invested into something, unless you have a ton of extra gold and you're planning on changing the team that you're currently building to something else. Then it might be worth reinvesting the points and resources that'll consume. All right. So for the last thing today, I'll just show you guys some of my heroes, what I'm working on, a more detailed look at some of my heroes that I'm working on. And right now, I think we can upgrade our assassin actually. Death Envoy, we can make him 9 stars. We should be able to, after that, fusing all those heroes. Okay, so we just need one more fodder. I don't really want to use those. We need to save that for the Dark Emperor that's released next week. Okay, so we'll just use 10 random dark heroes. And there we go. Perfect. So now we should be able to upgrade him to 9 stars. Hey K2 Shiner, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Sorry that you caught the end of it. I'm just finishing upgrading my team right now. So we're gonna take Death Envoy and take him to 9 stars. Alright. So we created a bunch of fodder from the Fuse event just a while ago, and so we'll use Wildhammer as fodder, and there we go, 9 stars. So he gains a huge amount of HP, attack, armor, speed, and he gets an upgrade to his skill, which is the max skill here. So he gets upgrade for that, and we'll just take him to 200 since we have a lot of resources saved up. Yeah, Death Envoy's a beast. He's crazy. Like, just 2 of him alone on your team with a leader can probably solo a lot of teams. I'm really excited to upgrade him to a leader soon. And Night Daughter as well. Recently they made her a leader, and I don't know if she's just as good, but she is really, really good as well. She can take out 3 heroes with just 1 shot. And her abilities enhanced even further now with that probability to do more real damage and guaranteed critical hit here, which is huge for Night Daughter. Okay, I don't think we have enough to upgrade her yet. Yeah, we need to make a 7-star fodder. But I think we might be able to take Bone Dragon up. Okay, so we still need a bunch more fodder. I think we'll be able to get the fodder for him. Alright. Okay, we'll just do... Okay, no, we're not going to use those. We're just going to use a couple fruits. Because I really want to upgrade him to the next star. Since it's the fruit event, this doesn't really hurt. Come on, where's the 5 stars at? Come on. Alright, some 5-star shards are not bad. But can we please get a 5-star hero? Yes, there we go. There's 1. And are we gonna get a second one? Maybe soon? We just need, I think, 1 or 2 more. There's another one. Okay, I think we can make the last one now. Alright, so let's summon those. I think we'll probably just do random fusion because we're missing a lot of the 3 stars. Alright, so this will be our last fodder to upgrade Bone Dragon. Okay, we'll just use him for now. And Night King is fodder. He's really not that great. He requires heroes to die for him to become useful, so it's kind of counterintuitive. Alright, so we got our Bone Dragon to 8 stars. And let's see how much that increases our power by. So we had 624k power before, and now we have about 50k more power. And we should be able to take out a lot more teams with this since our Death Envoy's upgraded now. But once we get 2 240s, then we should be set for a little bit until we upgrade him into a leader. And now I'll show you guys what I currently have on them. So their badges. I gave him pure attack because you want him to be able to finish off the opponent in one strike. So when you increase his attack, his attack is already extremely high, so when you increase it even further, it just guarantees he'll just one-shot the hero. Like, I've seen him do over like 1 point something million damage, which is just crazy. And then I gave him the Eyes of Fury, which does 72% damage against Assassin. So basically, Assassin will just get destroyed if he attacks one. And he has stun immunity as well, so this is really good for preventing some CC on Death Envoy. And a bit of real armor as well. And a lot of my heroes just have 1-star orange right now. Oh, nice. 2 6-stars is not bad for just starting. And if you're already starting with Death Envoy, that's an even better start. Okay, so I have the attack badge on him, and then I have attack, speed, anti-control, and petrify. So 3 offensive stats here, and anti-control, which is not so great here. So I kind of want to change that out, but there's nothing you can do with statues right now to change the lines. So you just have to really get lucky. So my Night Daughter now, she has... Actually, yeah, we'll take this and upgrade it a little bit further since we have so much gold. Right, so she has attack. Alright, and please be attack. Alright, no. HP and armor. Wow, that's a lot of armor. Okay, so I'm really interested to see what this adds, because this is the first badge that I have that we'll be using to unlock the skill here. So let's check that out. Oh wow, it goes even further into red stars. Okay, so we got attack, hit, and skill damage, which is the extra skill here. And you can go even further, but oh boy, you can't convert it anymore. So I guess you should probably get a good badge or save up a huge amount of gold and fancy essences and eternal essences before you do this, because it seems like you can't convert it at all. Oh no, here it is. Never mind. Forget everything I just said. You can convert it, but it costs a huge amount of gold and everything else. So let's see, how much does it cost to upgrade it? Do we want to do that? Sure, we'll just do it. Right, so we got higher, basically just everything went up a little bit. Right, now we want to get that to actually something we'll use. So hopefully we'll end up with something good, because this is really expensive. Okay, the first one we got 30% attack and 7% speed. That is perfect. So we'll just check one more time. Alright, maybe one more. Okay, that's it. We'll just keep this, because attack and speed are really, really good for Night Daughter, since she's more of a DPS offensive hero. And I don't really want to spend any more resources, because it's hard to save up the fancy essences. 14k is a lot. Okay, so she has attack on her badge with 7% speed now. So she'll be more likely to attack first in battle since she has higher speed. And then she has, to further increase her offensive abilities, she has attack and crit and potential to steal the enemy's fury and a bit of dodge. I kind of again, this is a defensive stat, so it'd be better if this was like crit damage, crit, or any attack that's offensive. but this is still a really good statue since 3 out of 4 are offensive. And she has over the 80% crit, so I might change the crit to something else because I haven't fully upgraded the combat lab yet, so this can actually go even higher to 85%, or actually 87%. So I might change that later, maybe into crit damage. And then I have dodge on Plague Envoy because he is more of a tanky hero, so you want some defensive stats on him. And on his badge we have attack, anti-crit, and reduce hurt. And his skill is 50% chance to counterattack and deal some damage. So he has 3 here that are defensive because he's a tank, and attack is also really good because he has a healing as well that's based on his attack, so he'll heal more HP as well and deal a bit more damage. And yeah, his statue could be, again, it's really hard to get a perfect statue. If I wanted a perfect statue, the attack would be HP, and these, I guess everything else would be fine. But to actually get that statue, you'd probably have to summon a lot of red statues. Alright, now let's move on to, again, these are just more copies of my Death Envoy, so they all have the similar stats. Attack, hero badge, and well, my statues are a bit worse for these guys because I don't have that many right now, so it's a bit random what they have. Alright, so that is my dark team there. And Bone Dragon, he has attack as well because he's a DPS, and he has attack, skill damage, offensive, reduce hurt, which is defensive, but he has the 12.5% chance to potentially petrify the enemy, which is the stat you want on almost every single DPS hero, because that extra chance to stun the enemy can really change the outcome of a battle compared to all the other skills that just might add a little bit of damage. So that is my dark team that I have right now, and some of the stats you can look out for when you're upgrading your heroes as well. And let's take Night Daughter's artifact to orange. So the warrior artifact adds bleeding immunity, and when you upgrade it, it starts back at level 1, so the level 1 orange. So it has actually 10% less adding damage against warrior, but after upgrading it, you'll see that it gains even more, a lot more. So you use artifacts to upgrade artifacts, and then if it exceeds the artifact amount, you get the extra amount in this mysterious relic, which is basically the leftover amount of XP. So we'll just take this to 5 stars, or yeah, since usually you'll have a lot of these if you spin the wishing pond daily. They just stack up over time, and you won't have too many red artifacts, or at least I don't have too many red artifacts, so when you actually get a red artifact, you can usually upgrade an orange one right away. Alright, so there it is. So 40% now went to 72%, so 32% more damage against warriors, and then you get, instead of 20%, or you get 40% bleeding immunity. which is actually really, really good. So she has this 72% damage against warrior because her skill attacks the first 3 heroes, like the first hero in front and the 2 heroes behind. So usually the first hero is a tank, and if she has the skill which allows her to deal an additional 140% damage to warriors, combined with even more damage against warriors, it'll guarantee that the tank is immediately killed after her skill fires off once. And that'll just change the battle immediately, because once the tank is dead, usually all the other heroes are weak and can just be taken out right away. So we'll take a look at our human team now. On my Captain Hook, again, he's a DPS, so I have attack on him, and I put an assassin artifact on him because most of the time enemies teams are all just the barbarian and dungeon assassin team, so you want as much assassin artifacts as you can get. That's like one of the most popular ones. So he has attack on his badge, and he's got attack, and somehow I managed to get a double crit, which is pretty rare. Usually they're different attributes here, and you'll notice that the percents are actually different as well. So some can be higher and some can be lower. So you'll also want to look out for that when you're upgrading the statue, because if it's a lower amount, right from the start, you'll be upgrading a statue that's actually not as good as another statue. So you could be starting at 8% and then end up with only 9% or 10% at level 12. Whereas if you have a max attribute, you'll end up with 11.5% here. And his crit damage is crazy because that's what you want on him right now. So he only has 60% crit, but from the aura, he gains an extra, he gains some extra crit, which makes it to the cap, as well as the combat lab, which adds even more crit. So you really don't need too much crit on him, but the key stat you want is crit damage, because that multiplies the amount of damage dealt by basically ×3 when it crits. So he has 80% chance to crit, and then that damage multiplied ×3, so he does a huge amount of damage. And then on top of that, if the enemy is petrified, he does another 180% damage on top of that, so that's like times 1.8%, and that's he'll basically kill the entire team in one shot, or when multiple Captain Hooks fire off, the whole team's dead. And for my second one, he's built the same way. Surprisingly, I got the exact same statue. I don't know how. Like, it must be a miracle or something. I ended up getting 2 of the exact same statues. And then, so he has the exact same statue and attack on his hero badge. And then Cleopatra, she's also a DPS, but you can put tanking skills on her as well. She works okay as a tank as well. Although Ice Queen is actually better than Cleopatra right now, but she does work well with Captain Hook. So you could maybe have like one Cleopatra with like a couple Captain Hooks, or just pure Captain Hooks, because Cleopatra really isn't ideal for the human teams anymore, even though she can be upgraded to a leader. And then Wind Knight is also kind of not that great either, since Storm Daughter basically is an upgraded version of him. So I might change him into something else. I'm not too sure yet. But he's pure DPS. So again, you want similar stats to Night Daughter. So just pure attack, high crit damage. And then I have Ice Queen here, this should always be the first hero, your tank. She's extremely good, especially now that you can upgrade it to a leader. And Storm Daughter as well. So you want tanky stats for her, so you want, well, I have attack on her right now, but I'll probably change that to HP later. And she doesn't have a statue because I don't have enough statues. I'm waiting for the update where we'll be able to change the stats on her statues, hopefully. So I haven't summoned that many of them yet. And then Storm Daughter, pretty much similar to Night Daughter, you want all attack stuff on her as well. Attack, you want crit and crit damage. So any hero that's attack, you want to basically increase it further. Whatever the hero is really good at, you want to increase that stat further. So if you take Hawkeye, you want really high attack on him, really high crit, although his skill already increases crit and crit damage by quite a lot, so it would be more beneficial to upgrade attack for him, since there's a crit rate cap and crit damage cap as well. And then for more tanky heroes, you want HP, armor, real armor, stats like that. And then you want HP, the ideal stats for a tank are HP, dodge, reduce hurt, and then some ability that can reflect damage or basically deal some extra damage when the hero gets hit or something like that. Alright, I think that pretty much covers everything. And one more thing is that you guys can actually, here I upgraded heroes to level 2 to sort them a little bit better. Like for example, right now they're all scattered all over the place, Plague Envoy is a hero I want to upgrade. But then there's all these heroes in between that are not heroes that I want to upgrade. So what you can do is just take him to level 2. All the heroes you want to upgrade, just take them to level 2. All the heroes that you're eventually going to upgrade sometime in the future. So Night Fury, Death Envoy of course. Let's see, do we have anything else here? I already have quite a few Captain Hooks, but he's still good. Up all these Axe Kings, Barbarian Kings, Bloodseeker, Blade of Flames, these are all really good heroes. Hawkeye. And I think that might be it. So after you upgrade everyone to level 2, then can go back and just like that, everything will be sorted out. So all the heroes you want to upgrade will be on top, and all the heroes that you use as fodder will be below. So you won't have to search through all your heroes to find that hero that you want to upgrade or whatever. Alright, I think that pretty much covers everything. Some of the things you can look forward to next week. I will be streaming again next week, or I might be uploading a video. I'm not too sure yet, but I'll let you know. So there is some of the updates on the website that I'm going to be working on. So the visual tier list, I'll be updating that this weekend and changing some of the ranks. The astrolabe, I currently have a page right here that has pretty much all the information. A few things are missing, but I'll fill that in and then I'll make that page live soon. Supreme Battle, I went over some of the stuff in the video, but nothing's actually on the website yet, so I'll update that information and write a page for that. Leaders, again, I covered most of the information in the video, but there's nothing on the website yet, so I'll be making a new page for that. The Fuse Quartz needs to be updated with more of the fusion information. The Forge Home, alright, that's one more thing I have to go over right now. Totally forgot about this. So right now most of my equipment are between 5 to 7 upgrades. So you get these stones mainly from Supreme Battles, but recently they've been incorporating them into, well, not right now, these events don't have them, but some of the other events have a lot of them as the final rewards. So basically every upgrade adds a percentage to your current equipment. So this adds 20% HP, so your armor will be 20% more effective and have 20% more HP. When you get that upgrade, 30%, and then 40%. So when you get to the blue upgrades, you get an extra 2% armor, and that increases again, and then you get even further. So this increases all of the suit attributes by 20%, which is a crazy good upgrade. It just adds that 20% to everything on the armor. So that's a huge upgrade, and I think after level 6 is when you can start using smelting stones. So I'll just show you guys here. So after level 6 you get this option here to press the up arrow, and then you can set the amount of smelting stones to use. So smelting stones upgrade the percent chance by 1% every time. So you'll want to ideally save up until you can get 99 to 100%, or just 100% straight up, because you don't want it to fail. Because when you fail at higher levels, you lose this huge amount of stones, which are not easy to get at all. So unless you don't mind sacrificing a lot of the stones, it's just not really worth the upgrade. And it sacrifices a lot of the stones of revelation as well. So it's better if you're able to just 100% it, unless you're feeling lucky and you just want to give it a shot. Hopefully it works out, but I don't know. The game, I feel like, doesn't want you to upgrade sometimes, because I failed even lower upgrades that have like 80% like 3 or 4 times. And then so after yellow you get 40% suit attributes and then another stat, so in this case 5% crit, or for the armor you get anti-crit and then 40% of all attributes. And then the final upgrade here, you get even another extra stat added onto that, so you get 400 real armor for armor, and the suit attributes just keep going up and up, so 100% at level 15. and then a crazy amount of bonus stats for the other attributes. And that covers pretty much everything there is for the upgrading equipment, but I'll be adding the exact percentages and the costs for each upgrade as well to a new page that I'm going to be writing up. And for the Dragon Island, I don't have all the information yet, but these are some of the rewards you can get. I'm gonna use like a second account that I'm building up to hopefully finish the first 100 stages, so I'll be able to finish the page after that because I don't really have all the information on it. I have a page here as well for the Dragon Island, I think, or actually no, maybe not. So I need to start that and record some of the information. Alright. So that's coming up as well. I'm going to be adding more information to the guild page. So how to basically, the different options you have available as the leader, some of the things you can do like kicking them out, making a new leader, dismissing officials, and so on. Hey, welcome Charisma. So there's a lot of options you can do as a guild leader. Like you can change the battle lineup here. So if you want to change anyone in the battle lineups, you can only put in a maximum of 15 players. So ideally you would want to use everyone that has the most power. The top 15 players that have the most power, so that you can face off and have the strongest team against their team of the strongest 15 in their guild. So besides that, you can change the guild name for 1,000 gems. And you can post recruitment messages. You can change the little guild notice here. You can send everyone some mail, some notes. And then this checks the guild log of all the activities if you won or lost battles in the Hall of Expedition. And you can check in here to earn some honor badges. And one other thing is that if your guild is inactive for a very long time, I'm not too sure exactly how long it is, but you can actually impeach the leader. It'll be a button down here for like 200 gems. You can press impeach, and then after a day, players can vote if they want you to be the leader or not, and if enough people vote, then you'll take over the guild as the new leader. So that's something that they added to basically revive some guilds that are not active anymore. And note that if you leave a guild, there'll be a 72-hour cooldown, so you'll have to wait 72 hours before you can join another guild. After joining a new guild, you'll be locked out for 72 hours. So you can't do guild challenges, and you can't do any battles in the Hall of Expedition. And there's quite a bit of information missing as well from the guild arena and the champion arena and so on, so I'll be updating the arena page as well. And then the VIP page is missing as well, so I'll be adding that. The Tapjoy Offers. Oh boy, I recently did an offer for like 1,000 something points here, and it got declined. I completely finished it, but because Tapjoy, or the advertising person or company that as the offer basically declined my request. So they said that I didn't complete the rewards, so they were unable to give me the VIP EXP, which is kind of disappointing because I actually completed it entirely. So I emailed Tapjoy, sent them some requests showing proof that I completed it, and they declined it. And then now they're telling me to contact the advertiser, so I need to send an email to the actual company that is providing the offer instead of Tapjoy. So hopefully I'll be able to get the VIP EXP from that, because I was playing the game for a long time, and yeah, it would kind of suck if that couldn't get the rewards for that. And then I'll be adding a page on how to play the game on BlueStacks, so you can play the game on computer actually. Like right now I'm using the BlueStacks emulator, which emulates Android, so you can play a lot of the mobile games on PC. So I'll be making a page on a guide to playing the game on PC. And there's also a bunch of other pages here that I'll be working on, so you can look forward to that. They're not listed here because I don't know, I just don't really remember them right now. Alright, and I think that pretty much covers everything, unless you guys have any questions or you want any advice on your teams or anything like that. I'm here now if you want to talk about that or anything like that. And after the stream, I'll be updating the new events and so on, so I have a little bit of work to do. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll be streaming again probably next week or the week after, and working on a bunch of the pages on the website. So if you play the game and follow the game and enjoy it, you'll be able to upgrade your heroes a lot easier with the information on the website. So take care, have a good weekend or rest of the week, and I will see you guys next week.